Destiny Rise of Iron and get the Iron Gjallarhorn.
Tokyo Game Show is such a spectacle of lights, of colors, of sound. Everything's vying for your attention. It's honestly sometimes overwhelming, but I knew what I wanted to do this year, and my good buddy Alexa helped me out. We went right to the Sony booth, and I played Gravity Rush 2. If you played Gravity Rush, you would absolutely love this. It's everything you liked about the original game, but it's more beautiful. It's the same style, right? So this like comic-esque style, and you're still the same character, you're Cat, but the world is just elevated. Everything is much higher. You can fly to higher heights. Combat has changed now. They've mixed it up a little bit and given you way more options. I think it's going to be such a great game, and I was really looking forward to it. I got a very short 10-minute demo, but in my 3 days of Tokyo, that's what I'm going to remember the most. Flying high and Gravity Rush 2, it was my highlight.
I came to Japan for one thing and one thing only, and that is Persona 5. I played it on the show floor at Tokyo Game Show, and I cannot stop thinking about it. It was about a 15-minute demo where you're about 8 hours into the main game, and you have the protagonist and his two best friends. You don't have Morgana yet, which kind of sucks, but it gives a really good sense of how the dungeons and how combat has changed from all the other Persona series. It's bright, it's colorful. That game could win Game of the Year on its UI and graphics alone. And the dream isn't even over. It came out in Japan on Thursday, so I bought a copy and I'm taking it home with me. And that is my favorite thing from Tokyo Game Show.
This is my first TGS and my first video game convention ever, and I've got to say it has blown my mind. But my favorite thing I did with my time here in Tokyo was when I went to the Bandai Namco Project ICANN VR arcade. It was crazy. I'm so new to VR that every experience was just mind-blowing for me. The worst and best thing I did was, it was this VR game where I went up in an elevator and had to rescue a cat on a plank. You're watching the video now, you can see me shaking, and the worst part of that whole trip is Mary was shooting me, and halfway through she just said very quietly to herself, "This is the saddest thing I've ever seen." And that's what I will remember for the rest of my days, and that was the best thing that happened to me in Tokyo this year. Thanks you guys for hanging out and watching all of our stuff, and for everything gaming, make sure you keep it at GameSpot.